of people that straight property development, it doesn't matter the business they're doing. So the reason it becomes high risk is if you're buying specialised property. So I'll give you an example. You want to buy a warehouse, and that warehouse is specialised for metal fabrication. So for you to come to us and say, hey, I want to buy this, this is really great, it's fantastic. But if you're relying on the metal fabricator to pay your rent, to service that, if that metal fabricator business dissolves, you can only rent to another metal fabricator. So usually we don't have as much risk in commercial property, but people who run businesses like yourselves start to invest in commercial. So it's not necessarily high risk, it's riskier to run a business because you can't predict the economy in a sense. Generally, where it's commercial property, like Mandeep said, we're in a growing area, especially out here. It's booming right now. And whether it's residential or commercial, yeah.
I'll give an illustration. Actually, you used, funny thing, you used
metal
fabricator. So this guy is in Melbourne. The problem that came up was his market was concentration because he was actually doing everything for one customer. And because of the concentration risk, ANZ actually said, we can't give you more money. So please reduce your loan amount and give me more security. And that's basically when the deal fell through. At the conversation. So you need to understand when you're running a business, if you're owner occupied, they're more happy to help you. If you are just having one client, they are less oriented towards lending you more. So you need more security there. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah. Let's say I buy a brownfield business, okay, and I spend 500K to buy that business. So would you suggest me to put 350K and get 150K loan, or spend the whole 500K? Get loan for running expenses, capital expenses.
You're asking an accountant or the angel broker?
Yeah, but he asking.
With us, you want to bottom up.
You need to look at a lot more in detail. I prefer you having cash flow because the seasons do change. And so I need that buffer always. You remember I was talking about working capital having 3 months. Right? So that's where I come from.
That's what my question was.
Yeah. So from the tax angle, if you're just purely talking tax, obviously borrow max. But then sustainability, your lifestyle, other things will say borrow less. And if you think on a different way, you borrow more, only interest is tax deductible, not the principal.
Okay.
So you need to work out all those numbers and then come back. There was a simple investment. Actually, this is a resi deal that I did with CBA. We submitted on Monday. We got unconditional by Wednesday. So the customer wanted interest only. She was earning pretty good. I can service her on interest only. But when I actually talked to her over the weekend, we were seeing that there's a potential cash flow issue going to come up in 7 to 8 months. So the normal, this is obviously because she's my tax accounting client. I understand her a little bit better, and I talked her out of that interest only option. So if you think about that, so that we start talking about what's your lifestyle requirement. I'm going because I used to be a financial planner, so I have got a little bit of bent of mind of that also. So I'm trying to be more safe.
Yeah.
Many people don't come in because I'm not aggressive. I'm more conservative. I'll say more no's than yes. So you need to just decide on that.
My question is to ANZ. Is the criteria different? Say, the first case is I'm getting a loan to buy a business. The second is I bought the business, I need loan to run the business. So are the criteria, evaluation criteria is different in both the cases? And which one has higher chance to get a loan?
I'd say, look, in a nutshell, obviously, the new business, we're looking at forecasted income. So we look at that with a magnifying glass. How did we come up with that income?
Yeah.
What's the, we got to go from backwards, like, we go, like, for example, I'm doing a Jamaica Blue, if anyone's heard of it, it's a franchise. So the coffee shop, so I'm doing one at the moment. So the accountant has provided me a breakdown of the menu. and they've told me that this is what they're looking at selling on a day-to-day level. That's how the forecast is made based on a monthly forecast. Right? And we always recommend all our cash flow forecasts to be done by an accountant. But that is probably a bit more difficult than an existing business. I say that purely because the existing business we're relying on existing financials. You've already proven that you've finished 1 or 2 financial years. We're looking at how you've done. So obviously we're a bit more comfortable based on historic income. Now, having said that, we specialize also in franchises which require forecasting income, but it also comes from different levels, different things such as your character, your basic character. When I say character, I'm not talking about you as a person, I'm talking about how you've done in business. And we also look at what sort of security levels we have. An unsecured, secure, yes, those aspects coming. But just on an independent level, we look at a historic business, we blend with that better than a brand new business.
The investments in Resi, company trust versus individual investments.
Depends on which is best.
Yeah.
Both are best.
Okay.
Depends on what you want.
Like I heard this trust is more of asset protection than
Always.
tax.
Yeah, because so basically,